Hello, hello. This is KD. This time I screen recorded a video of me working on an animation. So I've been teaching myself how to animate. I just enjoy doing it. Maybe for a year now. Not for a full year. I had a little break, but yeah. Um, I used to animate on an XP Pen tablet with my laptop until that broke. Not the tablet, but my computer. So I had to stop doing that. But yeah, now I use my iPad, and it goes fine. It's kind of weird sometimes, the feel of it. Yeah, definitely so far I would say I've preferred the X Pen tablet over my iPad, but I'm also using different software. I used to use Krita, and now I am using Animation Desk. And I've still just been getting used to it. It's the free version. There's definitely some downsides to it. I definitely think Krita had a lot more options. Not necessarily more user friendly because there was a lot going on. But yeah, Animation Desk is a lot simpler, which is kind of limiting. I feel like there's some things that'll be weird. Sometimes I found Animation Desk will randomly delete different slides, or it'll get kind of frozen, which always makes me so frustrated because then I'll have to just delete the app for a minute, not delete it, but shut it down and go back into it. No, I just find that so annoying because when you're in the flow, you don't really want to have to stop and figure out what's going on. And yeah, I knew from the get-go that I was going to animate a turn sequence. Just didn't know exactly how that was going to go. Turn sequences are quite complicated to draw. There's a lot of weird kind of body angles that are just there for just a moment before it's moving on to the next. So yeah, you can see that there's going to be a lot of erasing as I go along. I'll put something somewhere, look at it, realize it's kind of funky looking, and have to make some adjustments. Sometimes it just, you look at it and you realize it's wrong, but you can't figure out what it is for a second. Or at least that happens to me. So yeah, I easily think it's a little easier to do big pictures and then go back in and fill out some of the movements. So you'll see I kind of check a few times. I flip it, and then I go try to find the space in between. Yeah, one thing that I have found to be helpful when doing animation that's maybe a little bit more complex than my current skills is to find fixed points. So a lot of times that'll be the head or at least one foot. So then I'm not trying to think of every single piece moving. I'm just trying to think, okay, I basically have a straight line going down, and I'm just doing the limbs that are open around. I don't know if that makes sense. Never mind, just ignore that. Yeah, one thing that is a bit tricky about doing ballet turns is that she's coming from being on top of her foot to then going into a bent leg. And so when she does that plie, her whole body is going to be shifting. But I didn't want it to look like, she's falling out of the turn. I want it to look purposeful, but still, you know, the arms kind of are in this strange perspective. So that back arm was really getting me. I was really unsure about that. But yeah, you know, I decided to do a little bit more of a simple turn. You know, classic ballet turn, the foot kind of beats front and back for the knee. And I tried to capture that, but, you know, in a much more simple manner, just because the more complicated I tried to go, the more likely that it is not going to read correctly. So there's just kind of a slight change of the foot position as she turns to the back. I think the more I practice, the more I would like to do complicated leg positions, because, you know, in an actual turn sequence or any animation that has a dancer in it could have a lot of really cool body positions and different like pictures, because, you know, all the flexibility. So yeah, you know, I definitely love it as a subject matter to keep trying to challenge myself. But for this one, it's a bit more simple, just because this alone I thought was challenging enough for me at my current skill level. But yeah, anytime doing like a full body, even though obviously the hands and feet are quite simple, is a much more challenging for me. You know, I can do much more complicated body positions and flow when I do a more simple silhouette. But yeah, you know, it's definitely fun. I love the look of a bit more complex character in an animation. Obviously, it's still quite simple, but, you know, for me, having so many different parts, having an outfit and the hair and all of that is so fun. So fun, but so challenging. You know, I'm definitely working through. This body position really got me. I changed it quite a few times. Another nice thing about animating turns is that, you know, a lot of times you can copy frames, because it's going to be the same body position most of the time. Because usually, you know, it wouldn't just be a singular turn. So once you've kind of got a good base, you can build off of it. Make small adjustments to make it look a little bit more natural. You know, for me, I like to try to think of each body position myself, almost choreographing it, I suppose. But I know, you know, this would be, you know, you can obviously get a good reference video and really try to stay truthful to that. You know, I like the challenge of creating my own version, and I also just like that, you know, she can do anything I want, and I just gotta figure out how to make it work. Yeah, one other problem I have with Animation Desk is that a lot of times when I'm zooming in and out, you know, it doesn't listen to me, and it just starts marking on the side. You know, it's not reading the motion of trying to zoom in and zoom out, and instead it's just making all of these random marks, which I have to go back and delete. But yeah, that happens quite frequently, I would say. It really drives me crazy. yeah, by the end of it, I knew that there were some funky positions, and I just figured I'll go back and fix them as much as I can. So I really just had to go back and fix quite a bit. A lot of awkward arms and misplaced feet. By the way, this is sped up quite a bit. You know, it's crazy that, you know, at the end, the actual animation's probably less than 7 seconds long, and I probably worked on it for almost 2 hours. And I can't remember off the top of my head how many frames it is, but you know, I think maybe 75 frames, 70 frames. And then I went and I added some color as well, which that took some more time. But yeah, probably I'd say 2 hours for 7 seconds, which is crazy. Yeah, part of it is just that I'm still figuring things out, and I had a lot of mistakes, and you know, just that slowness for being a beginner. But yeah, you know, definitely one area for me to improve on is moving more quickly. I'm definitely quite slow. I will say I tend to be slow when I'm drawing and animating. That's not, you know, unusual for me. The only thing I would say that I'm quick at is when I'm painting, you know. I usually work with acrylics, so I'm used to moving much quicker. But yeah, no, definitely took quite a while. You know, I knew that I wanted to try to get her back into the same position she started in. I just loved the look of that. There wasn't any special meaning, but I thought that was fun. So yeah, you know, I thought she was missing some color. I thought, you know, it's summer, let's do some bright orange. Make her a little orange dancer. You know, I just did some simple little colored in her shoes. I thought about doing ribbons, but, you know, I just, the thought of going back and drawing 75 ribbons was unappealing at the moment. But yeah, I did get quite complicated in her skirt. I don't think I videoed that part. But yeah, that's her. I had a great time. She's so cute. But, you know, it was a great challenge for me. The right level of complicated. So, yeah, I hope you have enjoyed it. And I hope you like the actual animation. Okay, thank you.